Untamed Tarot deck, and let's unbox it and see what it looks like. What kind of beautiful things that we have in here. Ooh, this is a beautiful, beautiful box. Look at the quality of this box. Wow, that is outstanding. With a font that's hard to read. I love it. I love it. Ooh, mine's dented. Dented a little bit. Let's see. Wheel of Fortune Tarot, they made a lot of decks. If you haven't followed these people, they make quite a few decks, and all of them are fantastic looking. As far as production value, they are probably number one. Ooh, look at that. They are number one in creating a really, really good presentation for their cards. Definitely, no doubt about it. All right, Untamed, wow. That is a hefty, Jesus, that's a hefty book. Look at that. 7 of Wands, you got what, 1, 2 whole pages for 7 of Wands. Wow, that is amazing. This is a fantastic book. How many pages does this thing have? 194 pages. Wow, they did a lot of work on the book. Fantastic, fantastic. I love a good book. I mean, obviously the cards matter the most, but I love a good book. It feels like that this company is just on top of their game with presentation, how everything looks. I mean, look at the card. Well, let me undo the cards. Look at take the card column off of there. Wow. Wow. These feel great. Look at this. Jesus. These cards feel fantastic. What are these made out of? These cards feel fantastic. I love it. Life is an endless unfolding. It is. Okay. Yeah. Okay. So, yeah, look at these. Wow. Wow. Card. These are possibly the thinnest cards I've ever touched, but they're also like made well. Does that make sense? In other words, if I'm going to bend them up, I'm going to roll them up, if I'm going to bend them up, they seem to snap right back. So they're made well, but they are thin. Like the first thing you're going to say to yourself is, whoa, that's thin. And you're right, that is pretty thin. And it's nice and slippery though, so, you know, it spreads beautifully. All right, let's look at this, because there's a lot to look at here. We have a lot of eyeballs and a lot of skulls. So Untamed Mystery. It is a Scooby-Doo mystery indeed, but yeah, there is a lot of eyeballs and skulls and things like that in there. There is the Fool. Oh, man. If you're looking for traditional images, this ain't it. You do have, man, the quality, though. Jesus. The quality feels so good in your hands. High Priestess. Font is hard to read. I mean, can you read what that is right there? Can you read that? Can you? Can you really? I can now, but like this, kind of difficult. Same with the numbers. Like if I just looked at this and didn't know what it was, I wouldn't really say it's a High Priestess. So I guess you have to have proper lighting in order for it to kind of function, kind of work. Empress. The Emperor kind of looks like Strength. The Emperor kind of looks like Strength. Okay, the Hierophant. The Lovers. Okay, I get it. It's like an apple core, but the reverse image is going to be of two people staring at each other. I get it. I'm not that oblivious to it. The Chariot. Okay, I see a wheel. You got a tiger. You got Strength, you got a lion, you got the lady. So this is more of a traditional thing than like the Hierophant, for example, or I guess the Magician, or the High Priestess, the Magician. The Magician's really kind of like, what in the world's going on here? But now we're sort of getting into more traditional imagery, I guess, once we get into Strength. Then we have the Hermit. I'm not sure what the hell's going on here. I don't know. Let's insert some eyeballs. Wheel of Fortune looks like a Wheel of Fortune. You have the Justice card, which has a lot of eyeballs with goo coming out. I like my eyeballs with goo. Elephant carrying the eyeballs with the goo too. We got brains and we got gooey eyeballs. Indeed. Brains. Hanged Man is a... It's so difficult to kind of read these. Is an animal, I think, hanging. We have death, skull eyeballs, more skulls with temperance. With the hourglass. You see hourglass here and there with the temperance card. Kind of cool. Devil action. We got a T-Rex from Jurassic Park. And then we have somebody like making a rope. We're tying a knot to sail. We're going to sail. Tying a sailor's knot. And behind us, a Jurassic Park T-Rex is chasing us. The Tower. Now the T-Rex has grown into a big old caterpillar with eyeballs hanging out. We got eyeballs. Everybody's watching us here. The Star, lots of eyeballs, and a flying turtle. A flying turtle. We got a little bird, too. The Moon, we have an owl. A lot of people like to see an owl in the Moon or some of the other cards, but yeah, an owl. Somebody said they saw an owl in the Nine of Swords. It was kind of an interesting thing. I like that idea. So now we have the Sun with a horse riding in. I like it. A little squirrel on the back of the horse. Man, the squirrel, the big squirrel claws, I mean, they get in you. You're going to be running like that horse is. The Judgment card with a snake and some eyeballs. Well, no, one eyeball and two hands. Now we have the World, which is a dolphin puking and some other stuff. Apparently maybe it's a whale. Maybe it's a whale or a dolphin puking with other things. The puke is coming all around there. Ace of Wands, we have a rabbit staring at the hand. The rabbit's like, what's going on with the hand? And the hand's like, dude, I'm holding some waves. And then we have the rabbit again, is sort of looking at some brains in a flower basket. That's pretty. I like it. Just in time for Easter, my friends. Then we have the Three of Wands. The rabbit's like, screw this, I'm leaving. And all the eyeballs are like, no, dude, you're not going anywhere. If you're going to follow this path, we're going to watch you. He's like, okay. So he does a Four of Wands instead. He calls his buddy in. And his buddy and him, they jump and leap at the eyeballs. They're like, I'm tired of you watching me on that pathway. I'm going to get these eyeballs, and I'm going to eat them. And the Five of Wands. Now the eyeballs have been eaten. He's gained a little weight, and he's flying through the air. He's, the Lord of Strife. He's flying through the air. Now in the Six of Wands, another eyeball has appeared. Two eyeballs. The rabbit's a little bit full. He can't eat any more eyeballs. So he's just looking around, right? Now he's looking at us because he hears me talking about him. He's like, there's a fat man on YouTube. He's talking about me. What are you doing? He's looking right at me. You see that? The eyeballs are not looking at me, but the rabbit is. Now the rabbit is leaping one more time. He's getting to the top of that tree, just climbing it up there. And then the eyeballs like, rabbit, why are you trying to climb my tree? And the rabbit's like, bro, this is what I do. And he's like, really? And he's like, yes, this is what I do. See, watch me. See, I'm just going to climb all through the tree. And the eyeball's like, wow, that's kind of cool. I like it. I think that you're doing pretty good. Now, the rabbit over time has aged. And he is now a little bit older. He's got longer hair at this point. The eyeball's gotten a little bit bigger, more veins in it, a little bit more tired. But the rabbit's still like, look, I can still do all the stuff that I do. I can leap and climb the trees. But the limbs of the tree have wrapped around the rabbit. They're like, don't go anywhere. We're tired of you interrupting me. Now, this is a rabbit that has mated with a bull or a moose. And now he has moose horns. This eyeball does not like the moose horns. He's like, oh my God, look at this. The other eyeballs look at what? I'm looking over here. And you have an eyeball that haven't opened yet because they're still sleeping, okay? You got a sleepy eyeball here and here. They have not opened to see the moose rabbit quite yet. Now, the rabbit is still wandering around and the brains have woken up. And the big eyeball, the parent, the granddaddy eyeball, is now awake, watching this rabbit leap and wander all around. Now, the King of Wands, though, the rabbit is just chilling. He's like, I've had enough. And he's like, okay. All right, now let's go through the cups. I'm being served a bunch of skulls in a cup with goo hanging out. It's like Nickelodeon with the slime, okay? It's skull slime. And we have a lot of skulls and skull slime. And we have a fish coming out of there too. This is the same fish from the Prince of Cups. We're going to see later, I guess. But yeah, the fish is right here. And the fish is wandering around here. He met his other fish. And they're both going to get slimed with the Nickelodeon slime, okay? Two of Cups, magic fish, double Pisces action, lots of emotion there. Now the cup spilled all the slime everywhere, and the fish is trying to swim away from it, right? He spilt the cup slime's all over the place. Now the hand comes back. He's like, wait a minute, y'all are out of slime, you ruined it. Slime is everywhere. And the fish is like, I know, I can't do anything about that. So the skeleton hand brings in another cup. He says, y'all don't worry about it. I got plenty of slime. And then he pours the slime into a bigger cup. And the fish is like, I spilt this one, but I have a brand new one over here. And you know, his little child fish is like, Daddy, you mean there's more slime in the cup? And he's like, yeah, son, look. And they both see the slime coming out. Now there's still slime oozing out of the other cup. Don't y'all freak out, but it's all gonna be okay. We're halfway done. So now we have the hand coming out of the cup. It's a surprise load in a cup. Similar to cups and balls, the magic trick where we have cups and then at the very end you open it up and there's a big lemon surprise in the cup. This is very similar to that, all right? You have a bunch of fish around here. We have skulls in here. We have things in here. Seven of Cups, there's a lot of options for what you want in your cup. The fish doesn't believe what's going on, though. He's got to investigate all the cups. So he's going around to every little cup and checking it out. Because, you know, at the end of the day, you have to know what's in all of these cups. See, he's examining this one. He already looked at this one. You can see his trail, his little path going through here. Now he's finally fixed. He's finally done investigating everything. He calls all of his friends in. We're going to have a big party, okay? 10 of Cups, happy home, happy family. Now the Page of Cups is not happy with any of this. He's like, my cup only had brains. Y'all are getting all the good slime from Nickelodeon. What am I supposed to do over here? I can't eat these brains. I'm not a zombie. And he says, you should have watched The Walking Dead. The last season is on right now. He says, really? And he's like, okay, screw this. He shatters his cup pieces everywhere, and he heads over to Netflix or wherever it is to see the last season of The Walking Dead. And he tells his friends, he's like, look, I got a Netflix subscription I share with y'all. They're like, really? He's like, yeah, let's go watch The Walking Dead. And so now he swoops over, and all the eyeballs are like wondering what's going on. Now they finish watching the show and everybody's happy. You got happy eyeballs, you got a happy fish, you got a happy cup. Everybody is content, and that is the end of the cup suit. Now we're going to start with the swords because we have some stabby action right here. We have the sword holding it up like the Excalibur, trying to poke the flying bird, but the bird is too quick. I can't poke him fast enough. The bird is eluding me quite well. But the bird finally lands on a bunch of skulls. He's like, look, you threw all of these swords at me. I don't think this is good. I'm going to land on these skulls. I'm going to wait here until you calm down a little bit, because that is passive aggressive. But now somebody from above stabs the bird. They're like, look, I'm tired of you flying around making fun of us. 3 different people stab this bird. It just is brutal. Slime drips out of him. He is oozing everything. He's flailing his wings. He's trying to get away, but at the end they get him and he dies. I'm sorry. He dies. The birdie passes away. The birdie is there resting. He is there. He's not doing good. Not doing good at all. But his friend comes for vengeance because it is the bird avengers. And his friend says, okay, skulls, swords, I don't care what's happening. I'm coming in and I got my claws, my talons are out. They are going to cut you to pieces. He's like, all right. So he eliminates the competition. He's like Thanos. He just snaps away the competition, and now he's ready for the next person. And meanwhile, they're throwing all the swords at him. He's like dodging them. He's like, look, I am like, like Spider-Man. I'm too quick for y'all. Swords are coming down. They're not able to get them. Instead, the swords are stabbing the skulls. They're destroying the whole damn place. But the bird is invincible. The bird cannot be stabbed, all right? Just cannot be stabbed. It doesn't matter how many swords you use. This bird is Spider-Man, okay? Doesn't matter how many you use. Even when you really jack it up, you're still not going to be able to get this bird. Until the bird takes the nappy. It's nappy time for the bird. Nappy poo, okay? Nappy poo time for the bird. While he's resting on his skull, everybody comes and stabs the bird. And it's just a horrible scene indeed. You know, could be too, I could get banned from YouTube for showing this, but I'm just saying, it is graphic indeed. All right, now the bird's flailing. It's trying to get away. Meanwhile, the ooze is coming out. The ooze is pouring out of him. The eyeball is watching what happens. And at the end of the day, he merges as another skull in the skull pile. It's true. It's true. And all of his friends come around. They're like, I'm sorry, Fred. I'm sorry. And they stick a sword through the skull of the bird because they're mean, you know, just, in memory of the bird, right? And they get the egg that the bird laid and they put it beside him because that was his offspring. And we have to let the offspring hatch, okay? And you got to have, a relative has to watch the offspring. Now, the offspring has hatched and has grown into a full-grown bird, and he is out for vengeance, my friends. This is chapter 2. This is vengeance of the eagle. Ace of Pentacles. We're holding the pentacle, and we have a horse in this story. The horse is coming in. The horse is there, and the horse is like, that's a nice pentacle. I like that. So the horse is like, I like it. I'm going to dive up there and grab me one of those. I'm not sure which. We got a lemniscate kind of, looping around, making the grade over here, but I'm not sure which to choose. So he calls in all of his buddies. He's like, look, we got a lot of these pentacles here. What are we going to do with those? Because I'm not sure at this point, okay? And one of his buddies is like, look, you don't have to choose one. We can put ropes around all of them. Loop them all in, get them all collected, okay? And when they're all collected, we display them on top of our horse house. The horse door to the horse house. And he's like, that looks fantastic. I love it. And he's all excited at dancing around, right? Now the skeleton comes in. The skeleton says, look, your horse house looks good. I'm not saying it doesn't, right? But I'm saying that you could put one more pentacle at the top of the door. And the horse is like, oh, that's a fantastic idea. So they get all of the pentacles and they get them all prepped, right? Because you got to get them all set up and everything. And they end up carrying the extra pentacle that the skeleton gave them. They carry it up the mountain. They organize all of it in there. They put ropes around all of the pentacles. And then it's all set. And they have a big-ass celebration. This, my friends, is the celebration of a lifetime. This is a celebration that you have not seen in your lifetime at all, okay? We have a statue of a horse. This is a statue of Grandpa Fred. Grandpa Fred is there. We have a statue to memorize Grandpa Fred, to memorialize Grandpa Fred. Now, the eyeballs are back, and they're kind of looking at everybody, right? You don't know what's going to happen here. Overall, you got a queen and a king, and, we're kind of done here. All right. I like it a lot. I love everything about this except the images. I like everything about this deck except for the images. Does that make me a bad person? So be it. I love the box. I mean, the production quality of this thing is outstanding. I love it. I think it's just a beautiful and amazing. I think the card quality is outstanding. I think the thinness of the cards, the feel of the cards, the fact that it feels like black core. The fact that you can do that, it just snaps back just like that. It has no damage at all. Is stunning. It's gorgeous. I love everything about it. I love the highlighting. I love the texture. I love the backs. I don't love the images. I love whoa, these are slippery. I love everything about this except for the images. I love the card the cards are thin, but man, they're high quality. I love the book. The book is fantastic. Look at all this. That is great. It does explain the images. So if you're looking at this, for example, the Six of Cups, right? As the koi continues its journey in the deepest waters, it encounters a younger one and nestles up to it. So there is a story behind it. Most of the cups appear empty and in need of replenishment. So the images have meaning, but you need to read the book to figure it out. Just for a raw read. In other words, I didn't read the book and I drew this, right? So Seven of Swords. I didn't read the book and I drew this. Okay, he's carrying out one of the swords. I'm not sure why it's stabbing a skull. I'm not sure why it's flying around. There's just not a lot to go here. So let's get the Seven of Swords and let's look it up. Let's see what the actual meaning of it is. We got Wands, we got Temperance, that's not that. Okay, 9, no. So let's go to the actual Seven of Swords and let's see what the hell this means. And this is my problem. As the eagle moves close to the end of his exploration, it returns to a battlefield reminiscent of the fifth card from the suit, where it swooped into battle, throwing down the swords in the act of revenge. Here, our untamed guide leaves the battleground altogether. Below, 2 skulls have been cut open and totally destroyed. These represent the most powerful fears. So in other words, it makes sense, but I have to read the book. I have to memorize 78 card meanings from the book. And this is one of my problems with most tarot decks that go into this reimagining of imagery. If you read the book, which is amazing, you memorize all of this stuff, I think that you will be very happy with this deck. The quality, the images, the internal meanings are great, but you do have to. The other problem I have is any story to where it goes ace, 2, 3, 4. In other words, I love it that you have a story about the swords, but you don't read in sequential order for tarot. In other words, I'll have an 8 of Swords, and then a 5 of Wands, and then Hierophant, and then a 2 of Cups, right? So I'm going to have to memorize 5 different stories, and I'm on a certain point of 5 different stories. How is that useful to me? I guess the overall symbolism and the emotion and the feel of the cards, we can do that, I guess. Sequential stories, I'm not a fan. Maybe you're a fan. Maybe you're like, look, sequential stories make sense. It makes sense because you're in a certain level of the story and the card. Whatever. Overall, A+. A+ for the deck. It's my little nitpick on the symbolism. Anyway, pick it up. It was not too expensive. I think I paid 40-ish for it. And that is the Untamed Mystery Tarot. Let me know what you think. Please feel free to disagree with me, whatever. But production quality is A+. Thank you for watching. We'll see you next time.